Well, hello there. I'm Amy Lewis, of course, from the KFBK Morning News. And in this season of giving back, it is so, I'm very proud in the fact that we get to talk with Brandon Haefele from Catalyst Mortgage, of course, but Kelly Siefkin from Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services, because this is the season of giving back. And Brandon has a program that, don't want to embarrass you, but you started it a number of years ago where you really just wanted to make sure that those who did not have would, because of an effort that you guys created, and it's called Feeding Local Families. So you talk about what Feeding Local Families is all about.
Well, Amy, it's a great program that we created in 2009, and really it came into play because of the Great Recession. Hunger is here in our region, and a lot of people don't realize how many people around them really might be hungry. And so during, with everything going on, we decided to go ahead and donate 49 turkeys to St. Vincent de Paul Food Locker in Carmichael. And, at that time, we're still a newer company. It was a small impact, but it was something. It was something to give back to our community. And since then, that program's grown. Our team rallies around it from the top to the bottom. Every single person is involved, and it's about supporting the community that supports us.
Okay, so what year did you start it?
2009.
49 turkeys.
49 turkeys.
2017, how many turkeys do you believe you will have for this?
We'll be roughly about 500 turkeys-ish, and we're going to be feeding over 1,000 full meals to individuals. And we're talking the stuffing, the gravy, mashed potatoes, just everything for a meal. So we're donating this, these meals. But really, it's about family and doing our part, and that we are fortunate because Sacramento has been so good to us. We need to make sure that we are equally supporting the community as they support us.
And Brandon, the Feeding Local Families really does pertain to making sure that people have food on Thanksgiving Day, that families have a way to celebrate the day. But the issue of hunger in our nation and the issue of hunger in our area is vast. And Kelly from Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services, let's talk about that. And first of all, tell folks who don't know about the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services how you began.
Absolutely. Father Dan Madigan founded Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services in 1976. He was working out of a church in Oak Park, very pained about seeing families in need, and was offering food, but quickly noticed there were a lot of other complementary services we could provide. People would love to be better clothed and be able to write and speak English, so we were able to expand our services over time. We now offer 15 programs and services at no cost, but we're really focused on food, and ending hunger in Sacramento County is something we're very dedicated to. There are about 240,000 food insecure individuals living in Sacramento. That's 1 in 6 adults and 1 in 4 children who aren't quite sure where their next healthy meal is coming from. So our goal is really to work with the community to provide healthy, nutritious, and accessible food for a lot of those families.
And I don't think a lot of people know about that phrase, food insecure. So let's talk and maybe define that a little bit better, because when you think about people going hungry, you think about people not having any food, and that's actually not the case when you talk about food insecure.
Yeah, I think a lot of the families that we serve in Sacramento might have access to food, but it might not be healthy or nutritious food. A lot of people who do not have their own form of transportation maybe have to walk to the corner market where there are no fruits and vegetables available, and they're only subsisting on processed foods. So what we're trying to do is get folks excited about eating seasonally, locally grown, healthier options, and we're making that available by working with all of our partner agencies.
Do you want to finish?
No,
The thing that I want to kind of is, I want you to build the picture of people who come for help, come for need, that come to, not just food, but the family feeling of it, the friendliness, that you're with people who love you.
Yeah, and service with dignity is incredibly a very important step for us. But they look like this, they look like this, they look like this. The individuals that we serve include a large percentage of seniors, a huge percentage of children, families, single parents, you name it. That's what they look like right now. They are typically the working poor in Sacramento. The individuals that we serve are most likely working. However, unemployment isn't as much of a challenge as underemployment.
Yeah.
We have a lot of families that are working right now that are qualified but are not able to have a job right now. So they're working 2 part-time jobs with no health benefits or whatever the case is, and things are really, really tight. So we're trying to do a lot of education so that families don't have to necessarily worry about food for a small amount of time, and they can work on the other kind of components on their life. And that's where those family services come in. And we're making sure we're doing education along the entire way. So families are learning how to grow their own food, cook their own food, making healthy choices for themselves, their families, their neighbors. We're making sure that this is a community effort.
And Brandon, I think that really hit home for you because I know that, as a business owner in our community, you're doing well, you've always done well, but you always wanted to give back. I think you wanted to give back from the very beginning, and that's why it was so important to partner up with the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services.
And when we talk about just, like you said, hunger doesn't discriminate. It can be somebody you're walking down the street and you don't know. And what one time that you can, I always say, if you have the ability, even if it's something small, something big, it doesn't matter what it is, give back, do your part, because really you are helping somebody that needs it. And as a business here in Sacramento, as a 4th generation Sacramentan, myself, you have to invest in the community that invests in you. We would never be we wouldn't be where we're at as a company. And everyone has a rough patch that they go through. No matter who you are, things happen. So if our community can continue to come around, like programs like this, great programs that support local people, that's where you're going to start seeing a change. And that's where, as we say, ignite a difference.
Yeah,
ignite
exactly.
a difference in your community.
So you talked about the program. So Kelly, for people who don't know about the programs that you guys have, it's vast. You have so many programs to fit the specific needs of so many people.
Yeah, and I think those comprehensive services are actually how you move people towards self-sufficiency. Food is a critical first step. If people aren't eating, they're not doing well in school, they're not focusing on work, they're not able to maybe handle their emotions as well and take that out on their family. So food is a critical first step. But also, if people want to secure employment, learning English is critical. Getting their GED is critical. Brushing up on technology is critical. Having a suit to interview for an upcoming job opportunity. Those are all critical pieces. It starts with food and really flourishes outwards.
And for the kids, it is not just that their hunger is satiated, but they feel like they're being listened to, they're being respected.
Absolutely, and I think there's a lot of warmth that comes with food. Eating a meal together, Thanksgiving is a perfect example of that. But families actually unite and do better when they have opportunities. We're getting into more schools than ever possible, doing that education, having kids distribute the produce so that other children are more likely to try something new and get excited about it. We're encouraging more families than ever who are on CalFresh to go to farmers markets because you can get 2 for 1 and stretch that dollar when you're shopping. It's really important that children are part of the solution. So if we get kids excited about eating healthy, then their parents
That's it, exactly. And if kids learn early to eat healthy, then that's something they take throughout their entire lives.
Absolutely. The opposite lasts just as long too. So it's really, really a long, critical process to get families to change their behavior. Fear of food is something that's very significant. And if the parent says, "I don't eat broccoli," the kid says, "I don't eat broccoli," game over. So we have to try and have some responsibility of excitement about that fall to the child.
And Brandon, I know for you as the dad of 2 beautiful little girls, you wanted to make sure that with your program, children really knew that they had a meal coming, especially on that special day of Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. It really is. I love gravy. But really, it's about family. And it's about, sitting down at the table and enjoying the people around you. And the idea that children might not be able to have that meal, it's so concerning. And I'm just happy that we can give back. And I'm so thankful for programs, that the Sacramento Food Bank has. It's awesome. Great
so
stuff.
Kelly, just as a final note, I just want for people to understand the importance of your program, the importance of Brandon helping your program. Tell us a couple of stories of people who are benefiting from the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services and what they have said about the way they feel when they're being helped.
I have some great stories, and they happen every day with individuals not knowing that there was a tie between what they were putting in their mouth and their health. So we have people that have come to us after receiving food, after a while, shocked that they're losing weight, surprised that they can get off of their diabetes medication, really excited that their children are asking for fresh produce and fruit. That's really absolutely wonderful. And then on Thanksgiving Day, the stories will make you cry. You will hear no more thank yous and God bless yous than when we distribute all these turkeys that we collect at our annual turkey drive. And that's because families might not otherwise be able to celebrate together. And that's something that's really critical to us. If we want families to succeed, then giving them a place to come together and celebrate with a healthy, wonderful meal on Thanksgiving Day is important.
And can I just say that for the Run to Feed the Hungry,
Yes.
for feeding local families, for the programs that are really being talked about during the holiday season, your program lasts 365 days of the year.
Yeah.
And so if you want to help the program, what can people do?
I hope people get excited in the Thanksgiving season and start and kind of get their foot in the door and then carry forth and remember that individuals are hungry in February and need clothing in May and do best with education even in September. And remember that hunger doesn't take a vacation, and Thanksgiving is a great time to get involved. Come and donate a turkey on the 16th. Come out for Run to Feed the Hungry on Thanksgiving Day. Come and volunteer with your family. Get involved and then carry that forth all through 2018.
And I just want to say this would be my 10th year for the Run to Feed the Hungry. Yay! And there is no feeling like it. If you've never been, you have got to go. If you can't go, though, you can still take part.
Absolutely. Become a drumstick dasher. It's our virtual opportunity for people who have to work on Thanksgiving Day. It's their only day to sleep in, or maybe they're responsible for the big meal.
Right.
You still get your shirt. You still get your bib. But you don't have to come out and run.
And honestly, that shirt is like a badge of honor. So you definitely, when you get that shirt, you are a participant. Brandon, so how many turkeys are we looking forward to?
Looking over 500, but also full meals, really just doing our part. And again, if you have the ability, please give back. This is a great organization, great program, but also anything counts. Small, can of green beans, anything. Just do your part and give back to the community.
Thanks, Brandon. Kelly, thank you so much. Kelly Siefkin from Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services. Again, we hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and we hope that you give back as well.